We are talking about rural development. We are talking about diversification of activities of livelihood in the rural sector. Now, in the agricultural sector, only land does not suffice. So, diversification of activities is a must. But for diversification of activities, the most important thing that is needed is credit. That is, time to time infusion of credit into the system of development of the rural areas, of the farmers, of the non agricultural workers is of utmost importance. Hello and welcome, children, to my platform, Economics with Nilanjana. Comment 2026 in the comment section or WhatsApp in the number given on the screen so as to get the free PDF of all the simulations of all the chapters of Indian economic development, each carrying 40 marks, so that you can have a good practice just prior to your examination of AISSC Economics to be held on the 18th of March 2026. Talking about infusion of credit. See, infusion of credit means that, the rural people has to be provided with loans. Now, rural people used to take loans before also, but they used to take from the money lenders in the village or big farmers, their relatives, the traders who used to exploit the illiterate farmers like anything. Now, government is taking up initiatives in order to infuse capital. Why? Because from the sowing season to the harvest season, there are multiple, occasions like marriage, death, religious ceremonies, social ceremonies. So, wherein this rural people need money. So, what will they do? Because the gestation period of crop between the sowing and the harvesting is quite a long time. So they have to meet all these needs. So they require medium-term credits for that. And they also require credit to buy the agricultural inputs, which post-Green Revolution period are very expensive, because it is not only about the HYV seeds, it is also about getting the electricity for, generating the pump for irrigation of the fields, also the fertilizers, pesticides, sometimes maybe tractors, threshers or harvesters, whatever the needs be. Those are the long-term loans. Now, very important thing about this is, in 1969, just simultaneously with the nationalization of the banks in India, which was proposed and actually executed by the cabinet of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister of India, it came a concept called a multi-agency approach towards rural banking system. What is multi-agency approach? That is, a single bank, say a commercial bank, SBI or whatever the bank is, okay, will not only be responsible for providing the credit facilities to the rural people. Multi-agency approach. That means there should be many types of this formal credit sources which will be lending out to these rural people. Now, among them, the most important is NABARD, National Bank of Agricultural and Rural Development, which was established in the year 1982. Other than that, regional rural banks, land development banks, all the rural branches of the commercial banks. So all these are the different agencies which were there in order to support the farmers for their credit requirement. And not only that, in this multi-agency approach of 1969, it was also, harbored that the banks will not only lend out to the farmers, but also teach them how to use the lent money and how to create the habit of timely repayment after they sell their crops in the post-harvesting period. A very important thing in this regard is the concept of a self-help group. Self-help group is a microcredit program started in India in the post Nobel Prize winning of Muhammad Yunus in Bangladesh, who actually worked on this system of microcredit. In India, it was done with the females and it was known as self-help groups. What are self-help groups? Listen to this very, very carefully. Self-help group consists of around 20 to 50 to 100 women in a particular region or a particular block or village of a district. Now, these women, they develop the habit of thrift, that is small savings. They pool their money, say 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, in the common fund of the SHG. And when they need, they borrow from that fund. Okay, this borrowing they do only for personal consumption need. maybe बेटी की शादी और बेटे का पढ़ाई, और बेटी की पढ़ाई, uh, things, or to buy a small piece of land. Okay, so basically एकदम पूरा अपना consumption needs के लिए वो लोग लोन लेते हैं. And among the women, why it was done with women, among the women, they are very disciplined in repaying. और ये जो और 50 औरतें हैं, ये फॉलो अप भी करता रहेगा कि that you have to give your money back with a very small rate of interest. So now when the BDO, Block Development Officer, or all the government officials actually review the performance of this particular SIG, and they find that these women have done very well, in their activity of lending out and, repayment of money with interest, they tie them up with a commercial bank. Then the commercial bank gives loan in the name of the self-help group, with which they start a business where all the women are involved, and they get a profit, repay the loan of the bank, and they have a very good life for themselves to supplement the income of their family when their husbands are in the farming sector. So basically, self-help group has mobilized a huge amount of money in the system of microcredit in different villages of India, and the Community Investment Support Program, or CISF, Community Investment Support Fund, has actually furnished and augmented the role of the small scale of the self-help groups in such a manner that these self-help groups have become a support system for the women of the villages, not only for their credit need, but also to discuss domestic issues like violence, child health, mother's health, and all such things.